trust me.
I do trust you. You know I trust you.
Fans of the After books couldn't wait to see their favorite characters come to life on screen. When the first movie, After, debuted in 2019, fans were not disappointed. The chemistry between Josephine Langford as Tessa Young and hero Fiennes Tiffin as Hardin Scott was on fire, and the movie was everything that fans could have hoped for. Then, After 2, After We Collided, dropped, and almost instantly, fans' thoughts went to the next movie and if they could be able to see Tessa and Hardin's story being finished. So let's find out. This is After 3 details you need to know. Warning, spoilers ahead. Just a reminder before we get started, please give this video a like if you enjoy it. Then subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications. That way, you will never miss a thing. What is it all about? It follows Tessa and Hardin as they fall in love and try to make their way to each other. Of course, there are a lot of things keeping them apart. Not only do outside forces try to keep them apart, but their own issues and secrets create problems for the couple. In the first 2 movies, we saw them meeting and going through difficulty to come back together. So, will they be able to figure things out so that their relationship can stay strong? And will they be able to face the challenges that some of their so-called friends and family members are going to throw their way? We will have to wait and see. Has After 3 been confirmed? Good news for fans was that even before everyone could see After We Collided, Langford and Tiffin made the announcement that After 3 was definitely going into production. But the good news didn't end there. At the same time, they also announced that After 4 would be happening too. Fans rejoiced. This would mean that the main story from the books would be told completely and they will get to see Tessa and Hardin's story completely. There is still a lot of story to tell. One thing is for sure, it is sure to be a wild ride. When will production for After 3 start? The good news keeps on coming. After 3 has already started to film, and in fact, production for the movies has already wrapped up too. Production was delayed a little bit because of the global health situation, and it also created some extra challenges for the cast and crew. They even needed to change the location where they ended up shooting the film, but they did it all to ensure that they could get the new movie out as soon as possible. The bonus was that they filmed the 4th movie at the exact same time. That means that production for both the 3rd and the 4th movies is done. Both of these movies now only need post-production work done, and then they will be ready for all of us to enjoy. Release date? Just like with the previous movies, the release date will depend on the country that you are in, with the movie being released in Europe and Canada first. The movie will first be released in September 2021, but it will take a while for fans all over the world to have access to it. US fans will have to wait all the way until October to see the movie. I guess that gives us enough time to re-watch the movies and read the books. Trailer. Or if you really can't wait to see a little something new, then you could always just watch the trailer for After 3 that dropped on Valentine's Day. From the looks of the trailer, it seems like After 3 will be the steamiest installment yet, and that the movie is going to be full of twists and turns too. I can't wait. What will this movie be based on? So far, each movie is based on a different book in the series. The first book, After, was based on the first book of the same name by Anna Todd. After 2 was based on the second book, After We Collided. Both movies followed the book's stories pretty faithfully. The third movie will also follow the events of the third book, After We Fell. Many people believe that the third book is one of the best books in the series. Chances are that the third movie might be the best one so far. Where did we leave off? After all of the heartbreak and issues in the first 2 movies, Tessa and Hardin have finally made their way back to each other. At least they are together for the most part, but they still have a lot of trust issues and a lot of things that stand between them. Plus, Tessa's father has come into the picture, and this will surely create a lot more problems and more stumbling blocks on the road for them to be together. What will happen in the third movie? According to the summary of the book, After We Fell, the start of the book will see Tessa making the biggest decision of her life. This decision will lead to everything changing. It could completely change how she sees everyone in her life and every relationship that she has. Everything from her family to her relationship with Hardin is in doubt. She is keeping a massive secret. Since Hardin already has a lot of trust issues, finding out about this secret might just be the biggest blow to the relationship ever. Tessa is sure that she loves Hardin and that he loves her and would do anything for her. But will love actually be enough? Their relationship has had so many ups and downs, and the circle of jealousy, anger, and forgiveness has left Tessa feeling exhausted. For the first time, she is considering if the relationship is actually worth it and if continuing on this path will lead to happiness. Will this truly be the end of the road? Will the full cast return? The cast in the first 2 movies was incredible, and fans loved the casting. They worked perfectly in their roles. The original plan was for the cast to all return and finish all 4 of the movies with the actors that made up the cast from the beginning. filming. But then the global health situation hit and everything changed, including the plans for After 3. The timeline was shifted entirely. They would have started with production much earlier than they ended up doing. Besides that, they had to change the location of the shoot to Bulgaria. This was an area that had lower global health situation numbers and where the cast and crew could film in a relatively safe bubble. But all of these changes meant that some of the cast members were unable to make it to filming because of prior commitments or issues with scheduling. But the production team didn't want to delay filming the movie even more and forcing fans to wait even longer, so they had to make the decision to recast some of the roles for the last two movies. For example, the character Landon was originally portrayed by Shane Paul McGee, but for After 3 he will be portrayed by Chilling Adventures of Sabrina star Chance Perdomo. Carol was played by Selma Blair, but now Mira Sorvino from Romy and Michelle's high school reunion will be taking over the mantle. And Stephen Moyer will be taking over the role of Christian Vance, who was previously played by Charlie Weber. Frances Turner will be playing Karen, who has been recast in the past already. Ariel Kebble will be Kimberly, and Carter Jenkins will be Robert. Then there will be at least one new character that has never been seen in the movies so far. There will be a lot of new faces, but they are sure to do everything that they can to make it incredible. When will the fourth movie come out? No official release date has been set yet. When After We Fell, or After 3, eventually comes out, it will be about a year since After We Collided had come out. It is a pretty long stretch between the movies. But that was never the plan. They had scheduled filming for the third movie much sooner. Then the plans were derailed, and without any control from production, things changed. So the third film is coming out much later than they had planned. But like I mentioned earlier, the third and fourth movies filmed at the exact same time. Production on After 4 is done too. So chances are that the creators of the After movies won't want to wait for such a long stretch to release the last movie. Fans have already waited much longer than they would prefer to wait for the next installment, even though many other franchises have much longer gaps between movies. Hopefully, this will all work together to mean that we will be getting the fourth movie not long after the third movie. The first half of 2022 could see us finishing all 4 of the movies based on the books that tell this story. So does that mean that we will be finished with the After universe then? What can fans expect next? Finishing the 4 books that make up the foundation for this world will be bittersweet, since many fans aren't ready to let go of these characters just yet. The good news is that they might not need to, at least not quite yet. The creators of this series of movies have plans to make at least 2 more movies. Now, don't get me wrong, no official announcement has been made yet, so we will still have to wait a little bit before we know for sure that these movies will definitely happen. But if they get their way, then fans will get at least 2 more movies that are based on these characters. One of these movies will be based on the book Before, a book that is a prequel to the series and will allow us to get to know Hardin better. It will show him during the time before he met Tessa and how he has become the guy he is today. The second book will be a next generation sequel that will focus on Tessa and Hardin's kids and cousins. It will be awesome to see them together after a few years. The only problem is that since Tessa and Hardin will be much older, chances are that they will have to be recast. Fans love these movies and can't wait for After 3. Thanks for joining us.